People Power! Greetings, my fellow foxes. This is Fox by the Foxtron presenting to you today WWE leaving THQ for EA. Now, this is a possibility since WWE ditched Jax, that's if you pronounce it, Jacks, in 2010, and since the contract is ending soon, WWE 13 has a possibility of being the last game made by THQ. I mean, THQ have been doing well. They did well. WWE 12, it got rated 9 on IGN. You got Corey Ledesma, he's really behind the product. But with UFC making the move from THQ to EA, just recently announced at E3, Dana White's been chasing that. And since EA, are renowned for franchises such as FIFA, and since you think UFC have made the move, maybe Vince McMahon may have an interest in EA since EA have better servers, they have better graphics, they have pretty much I think they're a better studio than THQ, but I think THQ have done well to adapt to WWE games. But thinking that UFC made the move, despite UFC Undisputed 3 getting a 9 as well on IGN, you feel WWE is going to make the move once their contract with THQ expires. And you can just imagine, better graphics. Like I said, the servers weren't that good with WWE 12 as well. They've been quite hassle to deal with, especially community creations, and maybe that's just since Dana White was chasing UFC, and now they said the whole fact about the UFC isn't a real sport, but technically. Yeah, they did eventually end up giving it to Dana White, and obviously Dana White was like, he was ranting about it a few years ago, and then he eventually ended up joining. So, maybe, I think EA Sports do have an interest in WWE games as well, obviously, because at the end of the day, even if it's not a real sport, it's like WWE comes on Sky Sports in this country, in the UK, so, and it's like saying that's not a real sport, so why would EA want to invest in the WWE franchise and obviously produce a really good game. Now, obviously, you have to see whether they could produce as good as a good game as WWE on the THQ company. But we'll see. Now we know Brock Lesnar. That's obviously because on my gameplay you can see Brock Lesnar. Maybe potentially making the move back to UFC. Obviously, I could do a future video about that later in here, about what's been going on with the whole Brock Lesnar situation, and just how we may not see any not too many appearances now, since he could be heading back to the UFC, which is pretty weird, but life is full of swerves. So anyway, this is just a really short story. It isn't too much information. It's not confirmed. It's definitely, something I haven't really haven't had the sources to dig into. But I can say the information was initially brought to me by a fellow subscriber of mine called Lamppost64. So I'll put a link down. You can subscribe to him. Obviously, I want to thank him for sending me giving me the information. Because obviously this information is very obviously catchy, and it can obviously progress within the community, and everyone can find out about it. So even though I don't have the 100,000 subscribers or something like that, but obviously I want to make the most of my subscribers as well, even though I have a very quite small amount. So that's it really. WWE could be the franchise could be seen in a new dimension, and it'd be pretty sad for THQ, since THQ's been with WWE for quite a while. I mean, since you think of games like Here Comes the Pain, which was amazing. So hopefully EA doesn't end up messing up, because EA does indulge with real sports. So let's just say we don't know what they're gonna do with UFC. Like, they had the mixed martial arts game before, that was okay, but UFC was better. So we hope they don't mess up the WWE franchise. So anyway, this is Fox by the Foxtron, and I'm over and out.